Hey, good morning, team. Happy Wednesday. Glad to be back. Had a great weekend, refreshed. We had a nice day yesterday with the volatility. We'll be able to get some premium on the on our puts and harvest some profits. So that was a pretty good overall day. So here's the Nasdaq. I'm looking at this, this H pattern we talked about before. Here we go. Here's the H. Normally, if it breaks the neckline, we go down. For most of the time, what happens with the H pattern, it kind of, see, this is a higher low, which is good. This low is higher than this low. That means we have a raising H, which is pretty positive. So normally what happens is when you have this H and we don't break the break line, we have this nice upside. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Like, see back here, we had kind of like this little H here, and we had a higher low. This low is higher than this low. We never broke this, so what did we do? We took off. So I'm kind of thinking the same thing here. Also, we closed yesterday on the market timing at 10, which is an extreme reading. So we're kind of due for a bounce, and I kind of played it that way. So I was able to take some profits and on yesterday and put some of the premium shorts that I had on. So today I'm going to harvest some profits again. I'm going to close some positions and realize those gains. So it should be a pretty profitable day. I want to get my portfolio back up to a nice profitable year-to-date number from the January lows. In January, I really took a beating, and we kind of been able to bounce back a little bit, selling some premium and getting the portfolio back up again. So I'm happy with that. The S&P is basically almost doing the same thing. Here's the H pattern, right? Again, this low, this high, this low is higher than this low. So we should have a little bounce here as well, and hopefully, we need to get back up up above the 200-day moving average. Let me see here in the spies. Same kind of concept, we had this little trend line here. Hopefully, my goal is to kind of get up here. Once we break the 50, we should be able to go higher. And the Qs, kind of same thing. See, this kind of concerned me a little bit yesterday because we did technically break this, but it kind of bounced at the end of the day above it, so it closed above it. So, we are going to be up about almost 3.88 on the Q, so we should have a nice little bounce, around here to the 340 area. So we should be okay. Now, stocks that I'm looking at, again, this market is just so choppy. Don't be too aggressive here. There's really nothing to buy. That's really like, good merchandise as far as like the Nvidias and the Teslas and so forth. That's why we're selling premium. Apple is holding up, Nvidia is holding up above the 200. So I'm selling premium, but they're not really trending. We're not getting consecutive 3, 4, 5, 6 days of 5, 6, 7 point moves like we used to. So just be careful. But what's working right now is energy and oil. So these are the ones that I'm looking at right now. Again, go small. If we do take off, technology might take over, and these consumer staples might kind of be flat. So just small, but these are ideas. We can kind of take a look at. BTU. I have a nice little trend line here. This little nice shelf. I'm looking at BTU 1770, which is basically clearing up this high right here, and then if we clear 1975, 1987 around there, I'm adding over 20. So good numbers last quarter, good growth. Leading group. The next one I'm looking at is Hess. Same concept, energy. I like this little. Let me get Hess here. This little shelf here. I'm looking at Hess over 97.40, which is the high of this day. If we clear 97.40, we could have that psychological 100 number reach, and then if you get to 100, normally we get 10 points after that. So I'm looking at Hess 97.40. Again, it's pretty wide stop here. So go small. Again, go small. And NMN. Here we go. NMN. Nope. NMM. Here we go. NMM. I'm looking at right here. I'm looking at first an aggressive entry, breaking this little shelf right here. So 3208, which is right here. And if we break that, then my next target for add-on, it's about 34. So if it breaks 3411, 3416 around there, that'll be an add-on. But aggressive entry right here, if we break this little shelf right here, which would be 3208, I'll get in. Again, stop will be right here at 29. So you got a 3-point move, buy accordingly. The next one is NMRK. Again, I like this little cup here, pretty deep, but it held the 200, so that's positive. My initial entry on this one will be 1915, so I want to break this right here. Aggressive. If we break above this little trend line here, I'm going to start looking at it. But again, it's pretty tall bars here, so my stop will have to be somewhere on 16, so almost a $3 move on a $20 stock. So again, it's aggressive, but I like this volume bar on this day. Huge volume bar, so that's buyers are stepping in, and we have nice numbers, nice growth. So new mark, 1915. PKG. The next one I'm looking at is PKG. A little loose. That's why, again, small entry. But it's near the 150 number here. So psychologically, if it breaks this, it should go a little higher. And I like this, these little bars here where it kind of like hit it, but it never crossed it. So once it does, normally it takes off. So I'm looking at PKG at 150, and then I'm adding on anything above 155, 156, I'm adding another 25%. So I'm looking at a small 25, 30% entry on PKG over 150, because you got to stop up probably about 147, 148 if it breaks the 21. So again, size accordingly. The next one I'm looking at GDX, which is the gold miners. Gold's been it's been pretty steady, hasn't been doing anything, but it finally kind of it looks like it's taking off. So I'm looking at GDX above 35. If we break right here, we should have a nice little burst here. Might chop around for a little bit here, then take off. So that's why we want to wait till we see it. So above 35, wait for confirmation. Don't jump it ahead. Look to make sure it does clear before you buy. Don't anticipate. It's down about 10 cents, so we might not break that 35. But again, all these stocks that I'm mentioning, they're not just like a one-day thing. Put the alert on, put the price on, and if like a week from now they hit, well, that's fine. That's when you take the entry. So it's not like a one-time, and done. The entry is the entry. The trigger is the trigger. Whether it happens today, tomorrow, a month from now, 2 weeks from now, it's irrelevant. It's the same pivot point. So put it on your charts, put the alert, and then when it eventually hits, we have merchandise that is triggering, and we could take action. And then the last one I'm looking a little bit aggressive here, Datadog. Datadog had great numbers on earnings. Growing sales here, 75% increase, 84%, 160, 233. 16% after margin tax, margin 21. So there's a lot of growth here. It's holding the 50 nicely here. The 21 is catching up to the 50. Nice little on-field with a nice pullback on low volume. I really like that. So I'm looking at Datadog at 165.20, which will be, if it breaks this little shelf right here, this little trend line, 165.20, Datadog. Don't anticipate it. Wait for it to break this. Don't try to buy it here and have a tight stop here, because that means it didn't trigger. And then I'm adding on if it breaks the 186.28 range, this little shelf right here. I'm adding on. But initial entry 165.20. Again, it's an aggressive entry. The market is not conducive to trending stocks. So just again, very small position, just to kind of test it out, see what's happening. Right now, I'm still sticking to selling premium, just because that's working. The VIX is still at 27. Even the VIX is going to be down about a point today. That's still at 27. That's pretty high. Anything over 25, I'm a premium seller. If we go below 20, then we're going to have a nice trending market. So again, small entries. Don't be too aggressive. Wait till like at least 10 o'clock to see if the market does continue to go higher. We are at an MT of 10. So the bounce is just not because we're now returning to, going higher. It might just be a bounce from the low, and then we might continue lower. If we have some Russian news, it's very choppy. You saw how it was yesterday. We had 200-point moves throughout the day. So that's why selling premium kind of like works, because we were down 250 points. I saw some premium. We had a nice little bounce with Biden spoke yesterday. 200 points higher. I was able to close and make about 15, 17, 18% in the day. Just some quick trades. Just that's what the market's giving us. So be nimble and be safe.